Okay, the scrimmage is actually in the books. The Jacksonville Jaguars had a glorified scrimmage, and there were some good things that came out of it. I mean, new head coach Liam Cohen seemed to be very excited about getting started. Um, there were some good things the players did. They're still working on some things. I don't think there's a lot to report from this scrimmage other than it's kind of the kickoff of the preseason because the first preseason game obviously is, right around the corner. You are tuned in to show number 42. The most famous 42 I can remember would be number 42, Paul Warfield of the perfect season Miami Dolphins, the great wide receiver that Bob Greasy, the quarterback of the Dolphins, hooked up with numerous times. And the Dolphins won 2 Super Bowls in a row, including the perfect season in 1972. So we'll salute Paul Warfield, number 42. Played a long time ago for the for the Miami Dolphins. Man, we would love to have had Paul Warfield on the Jaguars, but a different era. Paul Warfield played back in the 1970s. It was a similar deal, though, because Paul Warfield was with the Cleveland Browns. And then Shula grabbed him in some kind of trade from the Cleveland Browns, right? And then he went to the Miami Dolphins. Kind of similar to what Tom Coughlin did, picking up Keenan McCardell back in the mid-90s when the Jaguars started the franchise. So you're here with the Teal Shirt Report podcast. I want to give Mad Max a big mention on this show. Great show on Wednesday nights. Man, Mad Max has played some great tunes. ARS, I think I heard Doorville the other night. It's a great song, Max. Max will play Steely Dan, ARS for me. Max is really an aficionado on Leonard Skinner. I do want to tell Mad Max I think he should take the tour of the West Side, and maybe he could end up being an honorary West Sider at some point in time. But the Leonard Skinner music is great. It's timeless. Sweet Home Alabama. What's Your Name was one of my favorite Skinner songs. But I'm going to tell you, I'm from the West Side of Jacksonville originally. But Mad Max knows a lot more about Skinner than I do. I'll say that for a fact. I've learned more probably about Skinner since after the plane crash in 77, the sad plane crash in 1977 that, obviously took those guys' life. We appreciate you tuning in to the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Scrimmage at the stadium kind of snuck up on me. It was Friday night, August the 1st. So now you're heading to 3 games in the preseason. And I wanted to say a couple of things that are very important. Besides our sponsors, the madmaxmix.weebly.com, JC's live from the pub show at Lake Eufaula Hits, and of course, Salsa Realty and Capital for your real estate needs in North Florida, whether it's home, residential, business, or commercial real estate. Well, and by the way, real quickly, you can find the links for the madmaxmix.weebly.com, the Wednesday night internet radio request show, JC live from the pub on Thursday nights at Lake Eufaula Hits. All the links are up on the website in the Neighbors 2 section. Max has got a link in the Neighbors 2 section, also the Outside the Box section. On the homepage, man, we've had some hot weather in Jacksonville. There's 24/7 North Florida weather up. Man, we have hit 98, 99. One day we hit 100. After we hit 100, the sky, the bottom fell out with heavy rain. And we've had a slight chance of rain this week, and it got hotter. Now, all of a sudden, the rain chance has picked up for Saturday, August 2nd. About a 60% chance of rain or more. And we may get heavy rainfall this weekend, by the way. We're recording this podcast on Saturday, August the 2nd. Again, thank you to Mad Max Mix, the madmaxmix.weebly.com, Lakeview Ball of Hits, and JC's live from the pub show on Thursday nights. And he talks about a lot of the folks involved with Teal Shirt Report, like Alex Nunnery, John Gaylor. And he mentions you guys on his show. So check JC out live from the pub on Thursday nights at LakeviewBallOfHits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. Mad Max is on Wednesday nights. Love Mad Max's show. He'll give you his phone number during the show. You can text him or call him. JC does it a little bit differently on Thursday nights. He has like a chat box on the website at LakeviewBallOfHits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. And for your real estate needs in North Florida and surrounding areas, it's Salsa Realty and Capital. There's a link for Salsa Realty and Capital right in the middle or toward the tail end of our weather report. We've got a couple of different weather reports up on our homepage at bigjreport.com. And man, we appreciate you guys tuning in to the Teal Shirt Report podcast, episode show number 42. Here's what I wanted to stress with the Jaguars. We're already about 6 minutes in, but I talked to JC, our executive producer, within the last 24 hours. I did. And JC told me straight up, he said, it's all about Trevor Lawrence and the two top receivers. And then on this podcast, we've talked about, in my mind, it's the offensive line, the defensive line, and Trevor Lawrence protecting the football. And then JC kind of beat the table and said, no, it's more about Trevor Lawrence and the top two wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. It should be it's going to be a noteworthy and interesting season, to say the least. The preseason means people are they're stretching out. They're not, you don't want to get injured during the preseason, and it doesn't matter whether you win or lose the games, right? I'm not saying it's completely sportsmanship either. You want to win every play. But JC had a point. I got to thinking about it. I know that Brian Thomas Jr., you've heard of sophomore slumps. Does he get in the sophomore slump? I don't think so. This guy is quicker and faster than anybody ever thought he was when he was drafted in late April of 2024. Over 1,200 yards receiving in his rookie campaign. He was faster and quicker than anybody ever thought he was. General manager Trent Baalke almost screwed it up. He traded back to 23, and somehow, someway, Brian Thomas Jr. was still there at 2023, well over a year ago in the 2024 late April NFL draft. The Jaguars, particularly general manager James Gladstone and all the Gladstones, Baselli, Liam Cohen, they're all in on Travis Hunter. I've got a comment about Travis Hunter that I want to mention. I have seen him on film. I have seen him in pictures. This guy has a vertical leap or jump that's 2 feet or more. And that is why I don't think you see him on defense as much as everybody thinks you might. But in red zone situations, when the other team may be getting ready to score, they got a key third down, a key fourth down. I think the Jags put him out there as a cornerback to stop a third or fourth down play. My God, he might break up a pass. He might jump 2 feet in the air and intercept one to save a game. And the funny thing is, the previous series, he might be catching a touchdown pass for the Jaguars on offense. So, lo and behold, it could get very, very exciting in Jacksonville, right? But the key guys, according to our executive producer, JC, and I don't disagree with it, quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, the top two receivers, obviously. JC said it's two number ones, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, 1A and a 1B, or maybe 2 1s. And those are the three key guys. The offensive line does have to get better, so does the defensive line. And I told Gaylor, I said, man, we might have to score 35 points to win games. Gaylor said if we scored 35 points a game, he'd take me to Longhorn Steakhouse. or some kind of steakhouse. Maybe it's not 35 points. Maybe it's 30, 31, 32. Maybe it's 35. But the offense has got to be clicking. You got some good running backs. The offensive line, it looks like the offensive line, through even just better coaching and adding a couple of free agent guys, Wyatt Millam, the third-round pick out of West Virginia, the offensive lineman out of the year from the Big 12. Does he start? I don't know. He'll play. There's going to be injuries. Man, you can't go through a whole season 100% healthy. Ask Trevor Lawrence the last 2 years. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. I tell you what, I followed AAA baseball the last few years. There's good teams and bad teams in AAA baseball. Sometimes the Jumbo Shrimp get knocked off by the real good teams, and then they load up and get their wins from the bad teams. But they beat Durham a time or two in the last series with Durham, maybe more than twice. But now they're playing the Columbus, Ohio Clippers at home in Jacksonville this weekend. A lot of rain in the forecast, so at least 60% this weekend now. But they did get the game in Friday night. And there was actually only a 20% chance of rain Friday night. Now we moved into this like 60% chance of rain or more for Saturday and Sunday. But how about the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp? The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp 9, the Columbus, Ohio Clippers 1. The Jumbo Shrimp had the hitting, the bats going, and the pitching was good. The Columbus, Ohio Clippers, 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, 9 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error in the Friday, August the 1st game of 2025. On August 1st, 2025, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp 9, the Columbus, Ohio Clippers 1 on Friday, August the 1st of 2025. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are now 64-41, and to take nothing away from their win over the Clippers, but the Clippers are actually 45-56. So Columbus, Ohio is actually under 500. Alex Nunnery, you can see his videos on our channel, the Teal Shirt Report podcast from bigjreport.com, the channel. Alex will be, I believe he'll be at UNF tonight. He'll be covering the new women's soccer team, which Tim Tebow, I believe, has a part ownership in this team. And I was chatting with Alex earlier, and the name of the new team, Sporting Jacks, is a new team it's a new professional league. It's women's soccer. Alex will be over, I believe they're playing at UNF tonight. Let me pull up the chat I had with Alex here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, Dewey is – John Gaylor got back to me. Dewey is number 42. Everybody knows Dewey, great special teamer, backup safety, but he's Andrew Wingert is who we're talking about, number 42. Dewey. Thank you, John Gaylor, for getting back to me. So we got Paul Warfield, the most famous 42, and maybe Dewey Wingert. Andrew Wingert might be the most popular number 42, at least here in Jacksonville, right? Dewey will play special teams. He'll get a lot of snaps at safety. He's usually the first guy off the bench to play safety if somebody gets hurt. So thank you so much, John Gaylor, for getting back to me on that. Sporting Jacks, and they'll play at Sporting Jacks FC. That's the name of the women's team. Alex will be there. He'll probably do some interviews after the game. Let's see. And he'll give us information. They're going to play at UNF Hodges Stadium if you want to go over there tonight. That is the name of the team is Sporting Jacks. Sporting Jacks. It's a new women's professional soccer team. Tim Tebow is one of the owners of the team. They'll play at UNF at Hodges Field. Should be exciting. Check this channel. Subscribe to this channel, and you will also get updates, interviews with Alex Nunnery, our Big J Report sports reporter. Jumbo Shrimp playing well, 9-1 win over the Columbus, Ohio Clippers on Friday night, August the 1st. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, as our executive producer said, they are a AAA team of the Miami Marlins. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp 9. The Columbus, Ohio Clippers 1 on Friday night, August the 1st. North Florida Entertainment, concerts coming, The Fix, UB40. Check the Neighbors 2 section at bigjreport.com. And maybe the show I'm most excited about is Peter Frampton coming back to the area, and he'll be in St. Augustine at the amphitheater on October the 29th. He's battled some health issues and illness over the past, I think, 1 to 3 years, but he's back touring now. Support the guy. Great songs. When I first got into radio, there was a song that came out by Peter Frampton, and this was after Frampton Comes Alive, which is one of the most famous live albums in the history of rock and roll music. But when I first got into radio, man, there were some great songs out there. The Pretenders, Brass in Pocket, The Clash, Trade in Vain, and this one by Peter Frampton, I Can't Stand It No More, I'm Going Away. Peter Frampton, October the 29th at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. And again, our executive producer says it's coming down to 3 players for the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence moving into his 5th year. He's got to be the man, along with his 2 top wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr. and, of course, Travis Hunter. The new GM Gladstone was hunting up Travis Hunter. They traded up for him. This is huge stuff. Preseason is coming up now. We're just a few days away from the preseason games, which the results don't mean that much. I mean, the Jaguars were like 3-0 in the preseason last year and 4-13 in the regular season. So it's unreal, right? We salute Andrew Wingert, number 42 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's one of the longest term Jaguars now. He's been with the team for a few years, and he signed a couple of contracts with the Jags, and he's been on special teams and good special teamer. The Jags also have a very good kicker, punter. The Jaguars kickers and punters, especially the punter, he's top 5 in the league. The kicker is top 10 and maybe top 5. How about that? This is the Teal Shirt Report podcast. We're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com for Max's show on Wednesday night, and JC's live from the pub show. Check him out Thursday nights live from the pub at LakeUpallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. We have links for these shows in the Neighbors 2 section, the Outside the Box section, and on the homepage, Saucer Realty and Capital for your real estate needs, whether it's home, residential, business, or commercial real estate. I mean, I got stuck there for a minute. Larry does a great job for your real estate needs. He sold homes. He has sold some homes here in Jacksonville, also Gainesville, Lake City, Live Oak, and areas in between, and even a little bit south of the North Florida line as well. So thank you very, very much to our sponsors, Saucer Realty and Capital, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com. Max has a great show on Wednesday nights. Seems like he's picking up even more in popularity here in the last few weeks. Check Max out on Wednesday nights. We got the link for the show, and JC's live from the pub show the very next night on Thursday nights. And we have links for the show. You can click on the links for the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com and Lake Upallahits, Hits, where you can find JC's live from the pub show on Thursday nights, 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And Mad Max's times for his show are very similar to Live from the Pub with JC. Mad Max's times are 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And Max always signs off with that great George Harrison song. And Max's, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com is an internet entity where they play music 7 days a week. Man, I heard Ramble On by Zeppelin right after Max's show went off, man. Great music. So check it out, the Mad Max Mix.weebly.com. And also, LakeUpallahits.com. Great internet radio where it's all good. We're 19 and a half minutes in. Want to thank our executive producer, JC, for all the input. You too, Alex Nunnery. Alex is covering ladies' professional soccer tonight in Jacksonville. You can find Alex's reports on this same channel. Subscribe to our channel. You'll never miss a darn thing. So check us out. Again, we're brought to you by Saucer Realty and Capital and MadMaxMix.weebly.com and Lake Uvalde Hits and JC's Live from the Pub Show on Thursday nights. Again, we want to thank our executive producer, JC, Alex Nunnery, another producer, John Gaylor. Thank you so much for the input. You got me Dewey's number real quick. I almost forgot Dewey. Andrew Wingert was number 42. So this is episode show number 42. We'll salute Andrew Wingert, better known as Dewey, and Paul Warfield, a guy that was on the Miami Dolphins Super Bowl winning perfect season in 1972, and the Super Bowl was played, I believe, that same season in January of 1973. Dolphins back-to-back Super Bowl wins over the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. And they actually played in 3 Super Bowls in a row because the first one they were in, they lost to Dallas, and then they beat the Redskins in Minnesota in back-to-back years. That's going to do it. Episode show number 42 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. I'm your host, Scott. I am your host, Scott. Episode show number 42 of the Teal Shirt Report podcast. Give us a thumbs up. That's right. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And oh my, enjoy the coffee. Thank you so much, Coffee Boy. Man, great coffee. It's very strong French roast 8 o'clock coffee is what I've been drinking today. And they had it on sale here about a week ago. You guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. This has been the Teal Shirt Report podcast. I'm your host, Scott. And man, I am out. Check our website out at bigjreport.com. bigjreport.com. Have a great day.